Jenny.
Hillary, how are
How are
you?
you? Always.
How are we?
In sync.
We are so in sync it's like, remember that Will and Grace where Karen's like the circus and she's like, "Do, do, 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 do."
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Gosh, what a day of
And
nothing.
I'm wearing my Dublin shirt.
Oh, I love it.
It's been a while. It's been a while. And I have on like my workout gear under here and I was like, I need something else. And I got coffee in my Garden Tarts mug, and I'm talking to you, so things are okay.
Yeah. Day. It's a day. Okay, we're recording. It is currently Monday, April 21st. If you're listening, it is on or after Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. This is season 7, episode 15.
The 23rd is my beloved's birthday. So happy birthday, Chris.
Happy
Even though
birthday, Chris.
you'll never hear this, which is for the better.
Never. You think he's never heard us?
Oh, I'm sure he's heard some stuff. Once we were all in the car and someone put it on. I think one of my kids was in charge of the music and they put it on, and I just assumed they were teasing me. And they're like,
Um,
why wouldn't we want to listen to you? I'm like, because you don't. So I have no idea. He doesn't listen. I don't think he ever listens to podcasts. So
I
other
get
than
that.
the stuff we would post on social medias.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Happy belated Easter, and will it be belated Passover by then?
Passover's was over last night.
Oh, did you eat all the bread?
I ate a little bit of bread.
Good.
I wasn't hungry,
Yeah.
but I ate a little bit of bread.
Good.
Yeah. I'm trying not to do this because for weeks and weeks, I've been like cutting back on my worst addiction, and that is soda, which I love more than anything in the world. Like, why? Why can't I don't know. But anyway, I really, really I'm not craving anything else, but I really, really need a good cold Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I just feel like that's a necessity right now.
I feel like in this world we just need vices.
Yeah.
There's lots of worse things you could be doing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So I need to go to the grocery. I'm probably not going to go today, but I'll go tomorrow, and I'm going to get a single bottle of Coke and all kinds of other things.
That's it. You
Yeah.
just buy one at a time and then
Yeah.
you don't have like a whole 12.
But I haven't had one in like weeks. And over Passover, I'm like, must have soda,
Don't deprive me of bread and
which I don't drink. Even if I was drinking soda, I wouldn't because it's got corn syrup in it.
right.
Now,
You gotta get the one with the yellow tops.
the yellow top or a Mexican Coke, because that's made with sugarcane and not corn syrup.
So is the yellow top one, is it just Mexican Coke?
It is Mexican Coke, but for some reason, it doesn't have the carbonation. It doesn't have the right carbonation.
Which one? The yellow one?
The yellow one.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, we stopped getting that a million years ago because it goes flat like the second you open it.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is very little U2 news other than Bono is on everyone else's album except his own. Uh Lil Wayne?
What?
Was it Lil Wayne?
I think Little Wayne,
And who else?
the guy that they did the
Martin Garrix.
Martin Garrix, yeah,
Yeah.
that guy knew who I was talking
Who
about.
Edge was just at something with. I guess Martin Garrix likes to hang out with the old dudes. Uh,
Get back to work, guys. This is ridiculous.
well, Edge has reported that they have lots of material and they're choosing between it, which I feel like takes sometimes longer than actually making the material. So at least, I guess at least they've got stuff done. So we'll see. I have seen a lot of links posted on random YouTube, Facebook pages about Bono going solo and blah, 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 and all this, and that. And then I think it was U2 Songs posted something about like lots of rumors and fake news flying around. Like, just don't click on stuff. So if you're seeing things that feel fishy to you, just ignore them.
People and the damn fake Bono and good lord.
Seriously. It's like, take a beat, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, stop letting people think you're him.
In a
Anyway,
world full of disappointment, we don't need people thinking that you're Bono and then find out you're not. So,
I know. I'm tired. Those posts have just been more and more on the internet, and there's not enough. He doesn't seem to be vocal enough about not being. He doesn't say he is, he doesn't say he isn't. And I want you to be active that you are not. But anyway, I don't want to talk about him.
no.
No.
There was a guy on YouTube Songs. For the life of me, I can't remember what the post was. Um, oh yeah, I think it was just about Bono's extracurricular side projects.
Okay.
And a guy went on there and was just like, I'm so surprised that Bono's working with like gay people and like doesn't he read the Bible like he says he does and all this crap. And I'm like, reply to this guy, and I'm like, I don't ever reply. Like I just let it
Right.
go. Could not let this go. I just said, why are you like weird? Why are you so concerned what happens in strangers' bedrooms? And I'm like, you know that U2 has always, sung about peace, love, um, and understanding,
For lack of better word.
for lack of a better word. I don't know what I said,
You
but
might as well just, it was there. Someone
yeah.
wrote it for you.
And so he didn't write back, but then I got a message from our friend at U2 Songs, and he was like, should I block him? And I'm like, absolutely. And he's like, okay.
You're like, oh, power.
Yeah.
But like, he's obviously not a fan.
No.
If he's thinking surprised that they're working with gay people.
Yeah.
Have you followed any of their career?
But it was just a really, from beginning to end, it was just a really interesting interaction. Like, I said what I needed to say without giving it too many words or too much thought.
Right.
And then it was like a second later, should I block him? Sure. And then he was gone. The comment all gone.
Um, it sounds like he just wanted to be
Yeah,
rude to be rude anyway.
yeah. Roll with nothing better to do.
Right. And let's not get into the virtues of true Christianity anyway.
Yeah. Though, rest in peace, Pope.
R.I.P. Thanks for being the popiest of the popes.
Or the least popey of the
Yeah.
Pope.
I was kind of in my mind when I was saying popiest, I was kind of thinking like coolest. But you're right.
Okay.
If you're gonna if he poped the best he could pope.
No,
Yeah, he was not the popiest of the popes.
no, he was, no.
Yeah, he was less popey.
Definitely, yeah. But like, I'm sure it's hard to Pope. How would we know? We've never been Pope. Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe we could, maybe we have a chance this time.
I mean, cross our fingers.
I've definitely gone to more services in Catholic churches than in non-Catholic churches. And that being said, I'm Jewish. But for some reason, I'm always at Catholic churches. Funerals, weddings, quinceañeras.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
I
Like
found,
literally, I don't think I've
I mean,
definitely been in more Catholic churches than non-Catholic.
yes, same. but I also don't go to a synagogue or a temple, like, ever.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
rare.
I go, twice a year unless there's a wedding, funeral,
Yeah, well,
or
you go 2
bar
times more a
mitzvah.
year than I do. I think the last time no, I don't know the last time I was in a synagogue. Definitely when my grandma passed away
We went in Dublin.
16 years ago. We did go in Dublin,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of mitzvah or a wedding, funeral, but you're right. Yeah, we went
Yeah.
in Dublin. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So we thought we would just kinda, like, hang out with y'all for a little bit today.
Like, we used to do these great check-ins during COVID, and now I just don't pay attention to stuff so much anymore.
Right,
Like,
right.
I knew we had nothing else to talk about during COVID, so I would pay attention to stuff, but I haven't been. Yeah.
I got a new puppy.
You did! Talk
Here,
to us about that.
I can put a picture of her right here. I think I can frame it.
Oh, she's so
I can put that
cute.
in. Her name is Bean, and my children came up with that name, and I was adamant. I really, really wanted a name that was significant. Like, my vote was for Rosie, like Rosie the Riveter. I really think she would make a good Rosie. My mom wanted me to call her Kamala. I wanted something that had I was like, "Who's my favorite strong female Disney character?" It's like Moana. She doesn't look like a Moana, but I was trying to find something significant, and I'm like, first of all, I picked out the dog. Can I I've named no other animal in this house. This is our 5th living animal in this house in the moment, and I've named none of them. I'm like, "Can I just have one?" But we all
Uh,
came and I got used to my bean works. Plus, then my husband's like, "Well, you've been there before." And I'm like,
that was my first joke too.
and then one of our friends reminded us that there's a really famous singer who has a relatively new dog named Bean. I was like, damn it. I would not have chosen that if I had remembered that. But there we go. At least she's not named Bono.
Truth.
Yeah. Our friend Avril, has a dog named Bono, but A, it's a boy, and B, she's Irish, so I feel like she has naming rights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like here that would be weird. But anyway,
It was very exciting when you got your dog.
it was very spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But very meant to be.
I think
She
I was at my Seder, and I'm like, oh, everybody, Jenny got a dog.
One day I didn't want a dog, or 1 hour I didn't want a dog, and then the next hour I was like, I'm gonna get that dog. And
Yeah.
then the next day I got her sister. So she is sweet. Um, but other than that, there's not much more going on over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were we were talking about or somebody said to my brother had the Seder this year, and both my brothers were in the kitchen, and I was in the kitchen, and I was making little individual Seder plates, like little, I call them little bento boxes. It was my own creation because I think I know I've mentioned this before, but every year we pass around the matzah, we pass around the bitter herbs and the roastet and the salt water and everything, and everyone's like, "How many of this should I get? How many of that should I?" And I'm like,
What's this? Can you? Yeah.
"Yeah." And this takes up half our Seder. It takes
You're
up
moving
good.
stuff on the table, like,
Yep. And so I'm like, I'm gonna make little bento boxes, and everybody gets their own Seder plate instead of us passing around all this crap. You sit down, it's already in front of you. The pieces of matzah, the pieces of horseradish, all of it. A little cup with a little, like, I think it's probably for what's it called, the Catholic
communion.
communion. These little communion cups. I think that's what they are. And I put them. We all have them pre-filled. It takes up. It's so efficient. And so I've been doing that for years. I wanna go on Shark Tank with it, but it's definitely seasonal. Like, no one's gonna be buying.
Right, but if they're, like, reusable, then people just need to buy like, actually, if they're reusable, they're less likely to keep buying them. But I
Right.
think this but also Easter eggs are seasonal.
That's true.
Christmas trees are seasonal, and wreaths are seasonal, and candy hearts are seasonal. Like, I I feel like this is a secret little gold mine,
Yeah.
and I was like, "You need to sell these," and she was like, "Step A, come up with ideas. Step C, sell them. What's step B?" I'm like,
No, it was I think it was step A, question mark, step B, question mark, step 3, monetize.
I was like, "Oh, we're fucking doing this." This is my head, and then boom, tariffs.
Sorry.
'Cause you
I've
know
been
that
thinking.
shit's gotta come from China.
Yeah, truth.
Like,
Um,
serious. Oh my gosh, I was listening to one of my NPR news episodes, and they were interviewing a woman who has a very successful business here. It's a silicone placemat that sticks to the table. It's got compartments on it's for babies. It's got
okay.
compartments on it and then little places for removable, like you can attach forks to it, you can attach toys to it, but that way they can make their mess, their toys don't fall on the ground. It's a way to help contain them. And they've got all different versions of it. And uh did she end up going on Shark Tank? Yeah, she did. And she, like, didn't get the like, someone offered her a deal and she it wasn't what she wanted, she didn't. She's like, "I'm sorry, I gotta stand my ground." And she made this really successful business here. It's really well, and now she ca she's done. The only thing she is planning on making because on most of her stuff is made in China, and she's like, "I've got a great team there, I love those people, I wanna keep working with them, so we're gonna talk about international distribution, like, sell to England, sell to Germany, sell there," but she's like, "I don't know if I'll ever be able to sell in America again," and she's done all the research to set it up locally, like, in America with the factory and this and it's financially impossible for
Yeah.
her, and it's just like and then they friggin' go and say, "Oh, well, no tariffs on iPhones." She's like, "So fucking iPhones who have all this money don't have to pay tariffs, but now I'm dead in the water?"
Such a shame.
It's such a shame. It's just heartbreaking for these people who I mean, it's the American dream to have your own create something and have your own business and be successful enough to support yourself and your family. Pull that rug out from under you.
Ridiculous. Back to the Seder for a
Oh,
second.
yes.
We
I'm not against someday marketing this.
Okay. Well, I would need help because I don't know.
We'll put
Obviously,
our logo on it.
I don't know where to begin or then go, but I know how to end with money. Um, but that's just those are my steps to everything. So wear black, carry a rope. You can get anywhere you want to go.
Carry rope was step 1, and step 3 was meet you too.
Yep.
There's no step 2.
Yeah, we watched all these people and it didn't work, but we
Here's how it
didn't know what.
works. They kept walking backstage, yeah.
Yeah, what would we do? Like, I don't know.
We get back there
Um,
and be like, I got a rope."
Where's Bono?
"Yes, for a rope."
He needs rope. Um, so yeah, I'm making the little Seder plates, and both of my brothers were in the kitchen with me, and somebody, and I don't remember who said it, but somebody was like, "Hey, look at those Frank boys in the kitchen." And I'm like, "What about me?" And my brother, very, very jokingly, because he is very pro women's rights, but very jokingly said, "Well, this is where you belong." And he was like, "Too soon?" And I'm like, "Too late."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's exactly how my husband talks, and he just I mean, any button he can push on me, and he's like, he can tell him everything I can him to be quiet. He's like, I know how to get your mom.
Yeah.
Soon, too late.
Yeah. But then everyone was like, "Ah!" Like,
You
I
won.
won. Anyway, so yeah, we had a nice Seder, and then, well, I took my little cousins to see, Minecraft, which was surprisingly not bad.
I'm not surprised that it is surprisingly not bad.
I was surprised. I was like, "I'm gonna sit in the back row and look at my phone the whole time." But then, apparently I didn't know this before, but apparently people have been going crazy in the movie theaters throwing popcorn, and like somebody brought a chicken in because there's a part with a chicken, and people go crazy during this movie and throw popcorn and stuff. So everyone else, I guess, knew that. So the entire it was a relatively empty movie theater, but the entire last row, every seat was taken.
Because they all
So
want, because they didn't want popcorn on them.
they don't want popcorn on. I didn't know this was a thing.
Interesting.
Um, and I got the last row because I wanted to be on my phone, and I figured there's usually never anybody in the last row. I can look at my phone the whole time. But I couldn't, and then I didn't want to because I actually followed the movie.
Cool.
Yeah. And my little cousins loved it. They went crazy.
But
My cousin asked me to rank it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm like, what is your rank? And he said a 9.1. And I'm like, I guess you haven't seen any movies. I didn't say that,
me
but
is the target audience.
yeah. But they're big time Minecrafters. So that was
So
kind of
nice
cute
little.
going with
No,
them.
no. A little bit of Roblox still in here, but I don't think any Minecraft.
Yeah. My nephews play it too, but um
I think my kids have
anyway,
aged out. My kids have aged out of Minecraft, I think.
yeah.
I guess you don't
No,
age. They've aged out for them personally.
right.
There are lots of
So
teenagers still play it.
there's a meme that keeps coming up that this 6-year-old comes up to his mom and says, crying hysterically. And the mom's like, what's wrong? And he was like, when I walked away, my brother put like 200 cows in my house, and now I can't do anything with my house. And he's crying. And the mom was like, I have no clue what to do in this moment of parenting. Like,
I mean, go get your cows out of your brother's house right now.
it's a cute meme. Next time I see it, I'll send it to
Yeah,
you.
send it. That sounds cute. Oh my god. This is the first year in a few years I've not been to a Seder. The family that has hosted us before had a death in their family.
Oh no.
So they just decided they went out for a family dinner, which was nice. I'm glad they did that. But so I mean, I'm not upset to have missed Seder because that I'm more upset for my friends.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I was not upset. I was upset for my friend
Yeah.
and her family, but I was just, it was nice. It's been 2 or 3, I guess 2 years in a row that we've been to their Seder, and it's nice to have somewhere to go. But
Yeah.
it's all good. Next year.
Yeah.
Next year in Jerusalem.
Well, we all said let's pick another destination for next year.
Yeah.
Um, but you got that good.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah. Good job.
I don't know that I have anything else. Oh, you want to see another fun picture?
Yeah.
In the same place where I met the puppies, I won all these plants.
Oh.
So we spent all Easter weekend planting them. At this it was this event, and a local rescue shelter was there, and like, I mean, we had so many drinks, so many tacos, so much everything, sampling everything from like the east side of town. This one nursery was like, just sign up for our newsletter and be signed up to win this table of plants. And it was like ferns, a whole bunch of green stuff, not too big, but a lot. And I was like, Chris and I both signed up because we were like, we like plants. And that night, I got an email from them saying, you won the plants. Can we drop them off tomorrow? I'm like, sure. I won't be home, leaving my front step. I mean, there's a tree in there. There was not a Magnolia tree at that table.
Yeah.
There must have been. I must have just not looked bigger.
Yeah.
Um,
I won the door prize one time. The our local food bank has this big event every year in a convention center, and my aunt was on the board and she had some extra tickets, so I went with a couple friends and they like had left from work and I didn't eat well that day. Like I just didn't I was in a hurry and I just didn't eat well.
yeah.
Also, I am mostly a vegetarian and especially picky. And so all these places come out with their fanciest, you know, eel
You're like, nope.
and no, but everywhere had a dessert. And I'm like, I'll eat the desserts. So I had my wine and I had all these little bites of dessert and had another glass of wine and some more dessert and another glass of wine and some more dessert. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. this is this is like I am having some sort of blood sugar incident.
Say you're like chugging sugar.
Yeah, I'm like that. I have just had more sugar than I have ever consumed in my entire life. Definitely as an adult, probably as a child too. And I'm gonna die. And so my friends walk out, and I don't want to make a big scene or anything. So I'm gonna let them go, and I gotta sit on this bench outside the convention center for like an hour. Like, I gotta, because I can't walk. It was a really long distance to my car, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh. Yeah.
I can't make it. And while I'm sitting there, I get a phone call, and it's the event, and they're like, do you have you left? And I'm like, kinda. I'm like sitting on the bench outside, but I didn't say that. I'm like, kind of.
Yeah.
What's going on? And they're like, you won our door prize. Can you come back in and get it? And I'm like, can you give me like another 45 minutes?
What'd you win?
A huge basket of all kinds of wine and corkscrew that for a while I put in my luggage because I always seem to take wine to a hotel and then I don't have any way to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I put it in my luggage, but I must have left it somewhere because I don't
Mm.
know where it is anymore. I got all kinds of weird pens and paper and office supplies with the food bank logo on it. I got all kinds of different peanuts, and it was a very Virginia oriented
Oh,
basket. I did not get a ham, but I got peanuts and I
thank
got
goodness.
yeah, I got my favorite I got 3 bottles of wine and one it was my favorite bottle of Virginia wine. I think it's called Governor's Blend or something like that. Anyway, but then I'm like, okay, and I'm wearing heels by the way. And so then I have to walk out unsure of myself, unsure if I'm just gonna die, if I need like
This huge basket.
insulin or something. And I have this huge basket, and I'm like, crap. But I did it. I made it, and I didn't die. And I'm not going back. The friend that I went with, and this was probably 10 years ago. The friend that I went with texted me and said, hey, you want to go this year? And I'm like, no, I
Oh,
do not want to go. Anyway, that was a fabulous incident.
that reminds me that the local Virginia wine reminds me that we tested a local whiskey that I think is cherry.
Oh, interesting.
They were handing out whole shots of it and we died. Really think it wants to be on the rocks, but I would like to get some more. I think that would be
But
a cool ingredient. I feel like there's a concoction in there somewhere.
yeah. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
One of my brothers is a alcohol connoisseur like I am, and
Mhm.
the other's definitely not. And he went to Kentucky for a work conference or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, you got don't go buy Jack Daniels. Like, go buy bourbon in
Yes.
Kentucky. Like
Kentucky
good
bourbon.
shit. Yeah. Like go find a distillery or something and buy it from there. And he did, and then he kept forgetting to bring it here. So right before our Seder, because I guess you can't have that because of weight and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, And right before the Seder, we all did a shot. It was so smooth. Like, I gotta
Believe it.
figure out how to get that whole bottle from him.
Remember what kind it was? What the
No, but he can send me a picture. But it was really, really, but he did get it from a distillery.
yeah,
Uh,
like a local place.
yeah. I'm like, don't just get bourbon to get bourbon. Get something we can't get here. And I think he did.
I love
What
that.
else? Passover, Minecraft,
Bees.
puppies, Bono
Land.
not doing his own work. God damn it, Bono.
One day.
Um,
One day we'll get more YouTube music.
yeah. Oh, I met one of our listeners, Alice.
Hey.
She drove down from where she lives, and I drove up from where I live, and we met. And with her children, everybody was very lovely, and it was so nice to meet somebody that I mean, I know plenty of people, from the YouTubers,
Yeah,
but I kind of most of them met because they were standing next to me in a queue or they were a friend of a friend or something.
right.
This is a friend that I met because she listens to our pod. And that
Oh,
was just I
that was
was
so
so
excited.
yeah, I was so flattered. And not only but I also was like, "Oh, this is weird." I mean, she's delightful and I would spend time with her anyway, but I'm like, "The only way you know me is from
Like,
this
you know me
pod."
way better than I know you.
Yeah, and, like, I every so often, I'd say something, she's like, "Oh, yeah, you said that on the pod," and I'm like, "You listen oh my god." But she was great, and, she bought me a very nice glass of wine, and, her kids picked out this amazing chocolate because I couldn't eat much because Passover, but her kids picked out the most decadent chocolate I've ever eaten, and with the wine, oh my god, it was so good. Like, I need to go back to this place.
Oh, that's great. I know, and you were like, "I think I'm gonna meet up with Alice," and I'm like, "Please, please, please."
Yeah, it was great. It was so nice to meet Alice. Like, thank you, Alice. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a friend. And thank you for, introducing me to your kids because they were lovely.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and we got, someone messaged us, I guess there's a YouTube fan event in Chicago in July, and they were like, "If you can come, you should come," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds fun," but
Because that's where we met.
it is where you and I met in
Yeah,
person.
in person.
It's mid-July sometime. I'd have to I think U2 Lyric sent it to me. Us on Blue Sky, I think. But there's a Facebook event for it. But there's a cover band and like trivia and giveaways, and sounds fun. Speaking of trivia, our good friend Andy Green put together a U2 quiz on rollingstone.com, and he deemed it the hardest U2 quiz ever, something like that. Holy crap.
It was pretty hard. I admit I got 85%.
I'm
And I
impressed.
expected for it to be 100%.
I got 75%. I think Garden County Man I got 80. I know two of mine, like you can go back and look at them. Some of them I know I know I didn't know. Two of them I did realize like if it's multiple choice of like four questions, two of those I was like, oh, it's between one of these two, and I both times I picked the wrong
Yeah.
one. So if I had just aired on the other side, but it's
One of the ones I missed was what city did the band get stuck in the lemon during Pop Mart? And
that's one I knew it was one of these two, and I picked the wrong one.
yeah,
Either Oslo or it was Oslo.
I had no idea. It was Oslo. I
Um,
had no idea where it
I might have
was.
picked like Norway or something like that. Um,
Yeah. And then there was another one that I missed.
there was one about like who did you two share a bill with?
That's it. And I got
And
that one
those
wrong.
I didn't know that was just I was just guessing. I literally had no idea. But then there was another one where I was guessing this or that. Oh, I got the one wrong about like what do all these bands have in common? And it was opening for them on Zoo TV.
No, I think I got that.
A version of the Ramones opened for them on Zoo TV. Huh. I didn't know that. I thought that was a trick question. But I was like, no, I got that one wrong. But I forget. But Google it. I don't know. Rolling Stone, Andy Green, YouTube quiz. I don't know, something like that. It's a doozy.
It was, yeah,
It was
it was
very,
hard.
very smart quiz.
Yeah. But I
That's
was just like, "Oh, it's not gonna be that hard." And then at the end, I was shocked that I got 85%. And I'm like, "I'm gonna get, like, 20%."
I felt a little more confident than 75, but it was
I don't have a Bono and Buster. Or I do, but I don't feel like getting up and getting it.
well, let's see. In next week's ep of the Garden Tarts, Bono and Buster think about hosting their own Seder. No. Bono and Buster put themselves in the running for the next pope.
Yes! That's how easy this shit is.
And a co-pope
Maybe they could co-op.
with their co-horse. Oh, okay, y'all. Until next time.
Bye. Co-pope.
We'll be back next week with more U2ish content.
In the meantime, keep chatting with us on social media at _Garden Tarts.
Sign up for our newsletter at thegardentarts.com and share with your YouTube friends.
You can support us on Patreon, buy me a coffee, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Kissing Lips and Breaking Hearts, a U2ish podcast with the Garden Tarts, is created, produced, and edited by us, the Garden Tarts.
Intro and outro music by December.
See you next week.